Aiboan, Vanakkam. And I'll try to make this speech in Sinhala and in English. I'm sorry, I don't know enough Tamil. I know a little, but not enough. So I'll have to proceed like that. Now, though we have come from all over, you have never seen me before. We are all bound by one aim, I think. That is enabling our littlest ones, 4 plus, 5 plus, 6 plus, 7 plus, that's the age group I have chosen, but to enable those children to speak, read, and write English. Why English? Canadians, Americans, Australians, New Zealanders, and even the Batahira Kodev Pirisa, they all use English as their mother tongue. We don't have to do that. We are Sri Lankans, and we have 2 mother tongues. So why should we learn English? We are Sri Lankans, but we are also world citizens, aren't we? We are world citizens. And we need to know at least one world language in order to be in contact with people all over the world. It has now become a global village, as you know. So, English. English because it is the most suitable. I mean, I don't need to go into all that. You all know that English is very necessary for all of us because we have so many teachers already teaching English. Okay? Now, I have always experimented as a teacher. So, I have several new ideas which I would like to share with you that makes the teaching activity far more interesting. Okay? Now, in any learning situation, we have hopefully teaching aids. We have the child who is a learner, and we have the teacher. Now, which of these should be the center of our teaching activity? Of the child. Thank you. It has to be the child. But we'll ask ourselves whether always we concentrate on the needs of the child, the skills of the child, the likes and dislikes of the child. Okay, we'll leave that. This ought to have come on the board, but it has not come. Never mind. Now, I want to just ask you a question which we will all answer together perhaps. When does a child start learning? When does a child start learning? Huh? I heard that, I think from somewhere. That's right, from its mother's womb. That's a very new thing, really. It wasn't, that idea wasn't there when I first started teaching. That is 60 years ago. So, it is a lovely thing, isn't it? And some people play music close to the ear. And the husband also tries to influence that activity. We don't know how it affects the child. We don't know. But some doctors say it does. Anyway, the singing, if a mother can sing, and she sings while the child is in her womb, I'm sure that it affects the child. I'm very, very surprised, aren't you, that there is no teaching in grade 1 and 2. And that is why I really thought that this is very necessary to teach the littlest ones. And I'm very glad I made that experiment. Can you understand what I'm saying? Can you? No problem? Right. So, 1 to 3. Then, the next question is, What do you do in the preschools mainly? You teach the mother tongue, isn't that so? Mother tongue. Reading and writing and all that also. Do you think you can teach a second language alongside the mother tongue at that level? What do you say? Do you think you can do that? Some people will say, oh, we must not bother the child. He must learn his mother tongue first and all that. But the experts say otherwise. Experts in this field, they say that the best years for the child to acquire skills in language are 1 to 11. Did you know that? Ages 1 to 11. After 11, they say you cannot learn a new language so easily. 1 to 11. So the group I have chosen, 4, 5, 6, 7, come right in the middle. So that's the age when they can learn language best of all. And I found out it is so. I'll tell you later. Okay? And that is the age when we could teach these children to learn English best of all. Then what's the problem? Some people would say, ළමයින්ට හරි අමාරුයි මේ ඉංග්‍රීසි ඉගෙන ගන්න. ළමයින්ට ඉගෙන ගන්න නෙවෙයි අමාරු අර දැන් කිව්වා වගේ නේද? ළමයින්ට ඉගෙන ගන්න නෙවෙයි අමාරු. අපිටයි අමාරු උගන්වන්න. Now we can do a nice interaction because we have a smaller crowd. So please do pop in and just give your ideas, okay? ළමයින්ට නෙවෙයි අපිටයි අමාරු. ඇයි අපිට අමාරු? ඒ වයසේ ළමයින්ට උගන්වන්න පුළුවන් සුදුසු ක්‍රමවේද අපි ඉගෙනගෙනත් නැහැ අත්හදා බලලත් නැහැ. So this is the title of my lecture. The learner, the child, should be at the center of the learning activity, that you understand. Now, who's willing to become a postman? Come on, I want volunteers. We only need a hat for the postman. Very good, thank you so much. Put this hat on, please. And keep these letters carefully, they have to be delivered to the right people. And I want 4 others. 4 others, please. 4 others. Right, just be on hand and I'll tell you when to start. But I want people to be ready. Now, I have a little bit to introduce first. Our children come to us. Do you think they come to us with their minds blank so that we can feel all kinds of things? No. You know that, don't you? Our children's minds are full of computers, cell phones, some more. Robots, yes, yeah, internet. Some of them know how to, by the time they come to preschool, they know, they are children of the 21st century, unlike us who belong to the 20th century. Okay, so they know a lot of things. And they know a little English also, don't they? They know, but sorry to say, when they come to us, and if we want to teach them English, they came to me like that, and when I tried to teach them, they couldn't say bus stop. They couldn't say bus stop. So can you see, there are certain things we must enable them to unlearn. Unlearn. Now, why do they have to unlearn? Because they will make mistakes. And mistakes, how do we deal with mistakes? Never, never, never say the mistake again. I have heard people, and on TV also, there have been some English lessons. I'm horrified because the wrong word, I won't say that word here, wrong word is said over and over again to teach the right word. A seat and a sheet. Sheet කියන එක කියනවා seat වලට මේ ටීචර්ස්ලා හින්දා කිව්වනේ කාර්යයක් නැහැ නේ. ඒක කියනවා 4 පාරක් විතර මම කලං කරා. එම ඒ ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එකේම ඒ වුණාට එක පාරයිද දෙපාරයිද කියන්නේ සීට් කියලා. සීට් තමයි එතනට හරි. ඉතින් ඒක පේනවා. So if adults also find this difficult, children will. I took only one word because I have very little time. So I have lots to tell you. Okay. So please excuse. Then you have to repeat what is right, not once, several times, according to the needs of the child. Needs of each child, mind you. When a child says it wrong, you have to concentrate on that child. So the interaction must be there, definitely. Right? Now, what do children like and what are their special needs? Children love to recite. That's where you come in. Right? To repeat after the teacher. And you know, I still have that facility, I still have that facility to read or hear something twice. Then the third time I know I can say it. That's great, is that so? So children have that facility far better developed than in us adults. See that? So, so you can teach a poem without writing it up. They can't read in any case. Right? Now here's a postman. I will tell you the words. Each one will get one line and you must say it at the right time. Okay? You have to come and say rat-a-tat-tat. Yeah. Then you say, who can it be? Again rat-a-tat. All four must come forward. Now you come to the door. Let's go and see. For you. Louder.
Let's go and see.
Here is Mr. Postman knocking at the door. Here is Mr. Postman knocking at the door. Have you any letters?
Have you any letters? Yes. Yes.
One.
Yes, one letter.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it goes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, now take them back, please. Take them back. And you go into the same place. This time without me. Okay? Only your line. Here, you start again. Yeah. No, you have to say rat-a-tat-tat. Yeah. Yeah. Rat-a-tat-tat. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 right at the end. Rat-a-tat-tat again. Let's
Go and see.
Here. Good, very good. Now, when I did this with them for the first time, mind you, someone else wants to be the postman. Right? They take that turn. So now if I did that, there would be no other work done for that day. So I have 4 postmen. Posted at 4 doors because I operated in a Kotumidule. And there were 3 doors leading into the Kotumidule. So they can stand behind the door and knock. And 5 lined up in each case. So that makes it easy. Can you see how important group work is for this repetition? But first, the teacher must make sure that they have pronounced the words of that little poem correctly. For instance, the word let's. That's difficult. They would say, I won't say what, they'll say it completely differently because in our languages we don't have 2 halkiri together. Let's. Tell me some more words for that. Desk. Stop. Snap. You give me some more. Quick. Huh? Shout is easy, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. We'll leave it for the time being. Okay. Then, the next thing repetition of all kinds. But each time you repeat, perhaps you can change it and do it in a different way. I'll show you how later. Okay? Now, children have a lively imagination. I hope we all have a lively imagination. So that if you hold up your hand like that and say, kite, my kite, see my kite, see my kite, see my kite, that go up and up and up and up. Now it's flying in the air. See my kite go down and down and down and down. Mind you, I learned to do that from a child. I used to do that and take it down. That child, one of my students said, "Ehema නෙමෙයි teacher." ඇත්තට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ සරුංගලාර ඉන්නේ නේද? ඉතින් you must be ready then to learn from the children. Also, you must be learning at a much higher level than you teach. Isn't that right? So your English must be really good if you are going to teach the littlest ones. The best teachers in a school should be right at the bottom, grade 1. So when I was a sectional head at Ananda Balika, I placed myself in 3 levels. Grade 1, grade 6, and of course I had to do the English for the old A levels. That took up a lot of my time, but I went down to the little ones. That's how I got all this experience, you know. In every school I taught, I tried to go down to the little ones and collected a lot of things from them. Thank you, I must say, to my little ones. Anyway, now, can you see now the way this is written up? And the same thing is there, but here we have the lovely kites, which they love. But the first lesson has nothing of the kind. No poster for the first lesson. Why? They must be enabled to use their imagination. Let us do it. Kite. My kite. See my kite?
See my kite.
See my kite go up. No. The rhythm will go. Go up and up and up and up. Can you see the way it's written up? We start here. See my kite go up and up and up and up. Then the middle one. Now it's flying. Fingers. Hey, fingers. Now it's flying in the air. See my kite go down and down and down and down. Is that difficult? No, it isn't. And especially when you are doing it with the actions, children get it. I told you they are very good at memorizing. Use that memory power of theirs. Children love to mime, act and mime. You can't do a playlet with them at once, but you can. They learn to mime. They love to mime. They may be miming the teacher or mimicking the teacher. I don't know. But that has never happened in my class because they have no time for it. That's all. So, mimic. So, if you ask them to show, you don't have to ask them, look at the pictures. Now, you can use a picture to enable them to see something first. There are only 2 faces, but I have 9. I can't use all them, so I brought this along. Right? Look at that child's face, and you can see from that, yes, I'm thirsty. So am I. This one, I'm angry. Then after you have done those feelings with them, ask them to mime them. They'll do it better than the pictures. Isn't that so? Right? And they will also say the word without knowing that they're talking in English. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm hot. Like that. And if they are not quick enough, some children aren't. You'll have to help them fanning a little like this with your hand only. Can't be doing all these things. So then they will be able to mime them better. Miming helps them to feel what they are saying. Isn't that so? Everything must be meaningful to them. Okay. They have a very lively curiosity. Thank you. No, not yet, not yet. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have a lively curiosity. When they come to the class, they will want to know what is on the teacher's desk. Don't have anything. Here's a tip from me. Hide all your teaching aids that you're going to use for that lesson. I sometimes put them behind the blackboard. They don't know they are there. Later they find out and they try to see what's behind the blackboard. Anyway, they have that lively curiosity. But at the same time, this is the funny thing, they like surprises. They like to have surprises sprung on them. So that is why now if you have been hiding something and you bring it out suddenly, they are so happy. For instance, I get a person to act as the ice cream man. But the others don't know, only one is told. And the ice cream man comes round the house and comes in with a bell. No, not the tune, but the bell. And when they go, I can hear the ice cream man. And they sing the song. Do you know the song? I will tell you later. Because that comes in the sheet I'm going to give you later. So let it be. But I'll sing the song for you. Ting-a-ling. Learn it please quickly. Ting-a-ling-ling. Ting-a-ling-ling. Here comes the ice cream man. Ting-a-ling-ling. Ting-a-ling-ling. Hurry, 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 just as fast as you can. Can you see the hurry? Yeah. Hurry, 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 just as fast as you can. Ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling-ling. Who has been good today? Did you brush your teeth? Did you drink your milk? Did you put your toys away? Come on, sing with me. You learn it by heart without any trouble. I'll break the actions, right? Ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling-ling. Here comes the ice cream man. Ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling-ling. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Just as fast as you can. Ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling-ling. Have you been good today? Did you brush your teeth? Did you drink your milk? Did you put your toys away? Now do you see that? So later they get ice cream also. Because this happens in my own home. It can be done. My husband is there waiting to give them ice cream. But the ice cream man has a box. And we pretend that there is ice cream. And they come and say, may I have an ice cream? That they are prompted first. May I have an ice cream? And of course, here's an ice cream for you. Thank you. And they take it because those words are the three most important words in the English language are thank you, sorry, and please. So they learn to use them just voluntarily. You don't teach them by themselves. You don't have to. They learn to say it properly, right? And the ice cream man gives the thing, and then another child is prompted to say, what about me? That's all, 3 words. What about me? And it's only if you say, what about me, that you get an ice cream. Even the fake ice cream. I mean the fake ice cream. Boru ice cream එකක් දෙනවා. ඒක cones තියෙනවා. His cones. ඊට පස්සේ කන්නත් උනානේ. ඉතින් ඒ විදියට ළමයි එක්ක වැඩ කරනවා නම් ඉංග්‍රීසි උගන්වන්න අමාරුද? හරිම පහසුයි කියලා මම කියන්න මොකද මම කරා? ඒක. හරි. Then most of all, children love කියන්න බලන්න stories. Stories. Do you tell them stories in the mother tongue? Do you, in the preschool, do you tell them stories in the mother tongue? Tamil and Sinhala? Huh? There's no time for that. I don't know. Anyway, but how do you teach stories in English? How do you teach stories in English? Now this is what I call a pre-reader. Little bear at the sea. That's for me. That's for me, not for the children. So I'm not going to tell you what is happening here because that comes later. All that the children learn from the second lesson onwards, mind you, is to say, look at the bear. Easy, isn't it? Look at the bear. Look at the net. Look at the pail. Look at the grass. Look at the sky also. Look at the suitcase. And in a later lesson, they will learn to say, I can see the bear. How? This will be put on that's what I did. I put this on the blackboard, the ledge of the blackboard, and they come up to the blackboard. First they say, point. They point and say, look at the bear. Then they come up one by one and point and show something and say, yes, I can see the bear, look at the bear. That's how it comes. Because then by then they have learned to say can and can't. If you go to the exhibition site, you will see how we teach can and can't. But I don't stop there. On an A4 size sheet, easy, isn't it? All those pictures are there, 6 pictures in all. Can you put the bear pictures, please? This is what I told you, what I call a pre-reader. That is before you start reading. The children read at least speak. They make up their story. The teacher helping them, they make up their story. Now you start, please, with the first picture. Anybody? Yes? I can see the bear, look at the bear. Those 2. Though they appear in 2 lessons. Volunteers. 2 sentences only. I can see the bear, and you tell your companion, look at the bear. Look at the bear. I can see the bear. First, I can see the bear. Look at the bear. Those 2 sentences can be taken in one cutter. Come on. Come on, volunteers, please. Good. Somebody else for something else? Quick, we don't have time. It looks as if you are still in the nursery. Anyway, they get a booklet like this to take home. Lot of work for the teacher, but it's fully worthwhile because at home their parents, at least my children, their parents cannot teach them any English. So the only English they do is at school. But this is a takeaway thing. And when they take it home, they are able to say those things. Right? And this is the end product. This becomes a reader. Now, by that time, they have learned to use these for color. They can show the colors and say, this is blue, this is green, this is red, all the colors through the same series of pictures. Prepositions. Where is the bear? Here. Tell me. Where is the bear? On, at, and in only. The bear is on the road to the sea beach. Right? Now where is the bear in that one? The bear is on the beach. That one, he is looking at a little boat. Then he is in a boat. Right here, he is on the beach again. This one, in the sea. Then that last one and that one, just compare those 2. Almost the same, because he's going home with the same things he brought. So that's a test. Can you see how just a simple series of pictures can be used in several lessons to teach several things? The present continuous comes last of all. The little bear is walking to the sea beach. Come on, the next one. He is standing on the beach. He is looking at the boat. Now he is rowing the boat, even those things are there. Do you know at the end of 10 lessons completed, the last lesson for that term, they were able to act it out. There is a boat there, an actual boat made up with a box and all the rest of it. And we didn't have a bear to put into it, so we dressed up a doll and put the bear's head. So, now do you see how English comes alive? English comes alive. Literally. We are able to show that. And the bear comes walking along the road, and not only that, there is a pedestrian crossing. That also has been worked. Now it is not here in the pictures. No, it has been worked in because of the necessity to teach 3 special colors. Not red, blue and yellow, but red, yellow and green. Children everywhere see, in the towns especially, they see the color lights. The color lights, that's all. Now what do you say? Stop, little bear, stop. The others shout at him, stop, little bear, stop. The red light says, stop. Now how many sentences? Only 2 sentences, but lots have been worked in. Then this one, wait, little bear, wait. The yellow light says, wait. We won't say gold, we say, amber. Too much for them, right? Now you can go, little bear. The green light says, go. Can you see how many things can be worked in if you really use your head a little and imagination? And we have these also. 1, 2, 3. Three of the children can hold this up at the beginning and then stop. They don't say the other one, then they learn to say it correctly. Stop. Wait. And go. So these are flashcards used in a different way. Flashcards needn't always be held by the teacher. That's a very unpractical thing to do, isn't that so? So that's the way we do it. Right. Now all this is contained in 2 books which I produced at the end of 2 years of teaching these little ones. I mustn't show you beforehand. Here are the 2 books. 30 lesson units here and 30 lesson units in this one. Mama කවදාවත් preschool එක උගන්වලා නැහැ. පෙර පාසලක උගන්වලා නැහැ. ඒ වුණාට පෙර පාසල් දරුවන් එක්ක මගේ මුළු ජීවිතේ තිස්සේ මම ඉතින් කිව්වේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට එක ආශ්‍රය කරලා තිනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට එක අර ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් interact නේද? ඒගොල්ලන්ට සම්බන්ධතාව පවත්වලා තිනවා. එක එක මගේ ආසාවම අර උගන්වන්න. ඉතින් උගන්වන්න අහුන අප පොතක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා ඒ විදිහට. පිට රටින් ආපු මගේ ඥාති ළමයි හිටන් චුට්ටි ළමයි 2 years 3 years 4 years ඒගොල්ලන් එක්ක සම්බන්ධතාව පවත්වලා මොනවා හරි උගන්වලා යනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට තාම කියවන්න බෑ. අපේ ළමයි තරම් සමහරකට කියවන්න බෑ කියලා හිතන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. ඉතින් එහෙම කළා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මම එහෙම කිව්වේ නැත්නම් මම කිව්වේ ඊටසේ මම ඉස්කෝලේ කියන්නේ රජයේ පාසල් වල විතරයි රජයේ පාසල් වල එකේ සිට 13 දක්වා මම උගන්වලා තිනවා. This is something for you to all of us to remember. When we start teaching the children, the littlest ones, be sure that the words are only with 3 to 4 letters. Sentences using 3 to 4 words. And dialogues of 3 to 4 sentences. There is a development there you can see. In this, we have used all 3. Involuntarily they do it. නිරායාසයෙන්ම ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. හරි? After that, we go into a bigger space if possible, and then the teacher stands in the middle. Would you like to do that? But we'll take too much time. The children stand round her, and the teacher has the ball. And the teacher says, catch it only if you say throw it. Say throw it. Catch it. I one like a partama. catch it, catch it, catch it. See what happened. So the children learn to interact with each other. They don't know the others. This happens very quickly. Now the next one is the introductions. What else can you do with a ball? Can you see? We started with toss, catch, bounce and throw. Through the game we learn to say throw. If the child doesn't say throw, no sending the ball. So the children quickly say throw. But in cricket, they say not, I won't say the wrong word, bowl. This has to be said bowl, as distinguished from ball. Ball. This is what we can do with a ball. But Muralidharan has taught us how to bowl. Not only that, they will tell you, spin bowler. He is a spin bowler. So you have to spin the ball. When you bowl, it's good to spin the ball. And then the cricketer hits it. You can do all these things too, with a bat and a ball. Then in football, extra words, pass and kick. In netball, shoot. So I have a netball ring. And they send the ball through. And when they do it, shot. Just as we do at a netball match, shot. That's a past tense, but we don't tell them this is the past tense. No. There's a table on which there are numbers. Like this. There are numbers from 1 to 8. There was a child in my class, not 7 I think. So 1, 7, several 6s, 10 5s, but the 1, 2, 3 also to give them a chance to pick out the right one. So I will say 8 and 2 and say, I am 82. And the next child will say, I am 7. Another will say, I am 6. Pick up the right one. By this time they know how to talk about the numbers. If they don't, this is the time for you to teach it. Teaching devices. In the very next lesson, Imesha, now I am an old lady, no? So I have forgotten your name. So I say, are you Kamani? Then you teach them to say, no, I am not Kamani, I am Imesha. Now that is speaking English. But at the same time, establishing your identity. See, that's very important for children, to establish their own identity. Because of that, all three are meaningful for them. At the end, a lot of practice is necessary for this. At the end, they will be saying all 3 sentences. What do you see in my hand? Shape. Rectangle. All right. These are rectangles. But I am going to make, now listen to me, I am going to make a square. I am going to make a square. I am taking a long time doing it, but anyway, I am making a square. I am making a square. This is a square. How many sentences? I am going to make. Future with going to. That's grammar for you. But you don't tell the children future with going to. Oh no. You teach them how to use it. Isn't that more important? Right. So now, first, I am going to make a square. Nice, perfect square. Right. While you are making it, see how I took a little time to make it? Folded and got the right size. Properly done. The shape must be right. Right. Because later, if you are going to teach it, you have to have it right clear. This is a square. Right. Then you have mixing colors. Mixing colors. I have a sheet here, but I can't. Here. The actual colors, paint, left in tiny containers. I am mixing red and blue. I am going to mix. I'm sorry, the running commentary is given like that. I am going to mix red and blue. Now I am mixing red and blue. Mixing red and blue. Red and blue make. Now it's a different one. Third one is different. Red and blue make purple. And this one, I have mixed the thing. Yellow and blue make green. Yellow and red make orange. Red and blue make purple. Red and green make brown. So you have all the colors you need, right? Then, of course, this running commentary comes in the form of a lovely poem. Now you become ducks, please. Quack, quack, quack. Better than that. Quack, quack, quack. All the ducks are talking. Now can you see it's a running commentary, isn't it? You know running commentaries happen at cricket matches, all that. But it can happen in the Tiny Tots class, right? Waddle, waddle, waddle. Now you won't do it like me. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Like that. I can do it, but the children will do it much, much better. Right. See, the ducks are walking. Splish, splash, splosh. 3 different vowel sounds coming together, and they are learning it by heart. Splish, splash, splosh. They are swimming in the lake. Gobble, gobble, gobble. They are eating my cake. So that is running commentary. Water sports. You think it's scuba diving? Oh no. Well, father, my Sigito, they did a thing like, they had a big bucket of water. And on, there's a stone table in that Kotungula. So there you have a mug, empty mug, empty bottle, empty jug, empty cup, all kinds of things like that. Then you ask, please bring me a cup of water. That is to teach the word of. That is difficult to teach. Space prepositions you can teach very easily. You can show them pictures, all that. You will see at the exhibition site. But it's very difficult to teach that off. Because recently I went into a shop and I asked for a box of matches. That person couldn't understand. Then I had to say matchbox. Terrible. Matchbox. Let they know. So that is how. Then new songs out of old songs. How many know the song Eskimo Staccato? Let's sing. Eskimo Staccato, sock him in the eye. Eskimo Staccato, sock him in the eye. Who'll play the violin? I'll play the violin. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, why, oh, violin. I'm not going to speak of the trombone now because time. But you add to that, please. Who will play the rabane? I'll play the rabane. Dumty, 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 dum. Then who will play the tabla? I'll play the tabla. Takadum, 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 takadum. Now, don't you see that nice? Because why shouldn't we do that? In every language, I have read books written by African authors who use their words. So do our Sri Lankan authors. Well, Ashley Halpe has translated Madol Duva, which I'm going to do with my older children next year. There he has used lots of words that are used in our own new songs out of old songs. Nod Your Head will be done in a completely different way in the new book, the next book. Nod your head. Yes, yes, yes. 1, 2, 3, what for? Yes, yes, yes. Shake your head. No, no, no. Wave your hands. Bye, bye, bye. Rub your stomach. What? Are you hungry? Would you like a biscuit? That leads to conversation. Conversation must happen right from the beginning of the lesson, before the lesson starts. When the children come in, they greet each other and say, how are you? Very well, thank you. Hello, how are you? Very well, thank you. Or, I'm fine. Now do you see? I'm sorry, I have to stop. And one more, just one more, because this is a very nice one. Just one, okay? දැන් අපි අවුරුද්දට කැමු වෙනවද නේද? හාල් මිලත් වැඩි. නේද? පැණි හරි ගණන්. ඒ නිසා මේ සින්දුව අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන්. කියන්න. Half a kilo of country rice, half a bottle of treacle. That's the way the money goes. So say the people. Last line, please. Just 1 minute for that. Can you see those pictures there? The pictures take the shapes of the letters, so that they recognize them as nice things that they like to get to know. And sometimes they wear the C very big. Another person wears the A very big, and another one the T. And they stand together to form CAT. Two groups, one with A, both with the A. The others come in when the teacher says, but then they have to do quickly to see which one will do first. Do you understand? Now I'm trying to explain things that I could have done with pictures, but I can't. So, can you see alphabet last of all? No, sorry, not last of all. When they have got to grips with the lesson, but only to recognize them, their sounds and their names, both together. Some people think they must be done separately. No. A child will wear this and say, I am A. I say apple. And can you see the B for bat and ball? And the D for drum and drummer. Then they don't miss the B and the D. You know how they mix up the two. So easy. I'm sorry, I have to stop.
We must thank our resource person, Madam Chitra Fernando, for her valuable lesson on how to teach English for our kids, especially for preschool children.